Sonoma County is a place we have called home for 3 years now after moving during the pandemic. And in this video, I'm going to break down the pros and cons of what it's actually like to live in Sonoma County. We moved here from San Francisco after living there for a decade. And there are a lot of changes. Overall, we are so happy with the move, but there are definitely people that should live here and some not. So stay tuned to the end of the video and see where you may fall. So starting off, number one is affordability. That is what really initially draws people to Sonoma County when they're thinking about making a move, especially when they're thinking about leaving San Francisco. Now, we're looking at a single family median home price of about $850,000 at time of publishing this video in August of 2024. And while you can find more affordable options in other parts of the country, we're comparing Sonoma County to other parts of the Bay Area, and for this video, more so with San Francisco. So let's look at San Francisco. The median home price there for a single family home is $1.7 million at time of this video. And in Napa, it is currently sitting at about $1 million. And in other parts of Sonoma County, that can be even less because this is just the median. So for example, in Rohnert Park or in Cotati, you could shave $100,000 off of that median price and find a single family home. One of the other aspects that people love is the variability, the diversity, and the types of properties that you can find out here. Maybe you're looking for a 40-acre working dairy farm or a 3-acre hobby vineyard with a modern farmhouse. Maybe it's a Victorian that's closer to town or a condo that has easy single-story accessibility. Check, check, check. Sonoma County has it all. It's really just a matter of defining your lifestyle, what you're looking for, but once you have that figured out, you'll be able to find a property that suits your needs. And as I mentioned before, there are certainly more affordable areas in the country, but when we are looking comparatively at other parts of the Bay Area, Sonoma County does offer good affordability. Number two is natural beauty. Of course, the stunning natural beauty of Sonoma County is really just like looking at a postcard. From the rolling vineyards, the majestic redwood forests, there is no shortage of gorgeous scenery. You've got coastal areas like Bodega Bay. And remember, Sonoma County actually includes parts of the Pacific Ocean. So we have the Pacific Ocean and of course the Russian River, which feeds into the ocean. And then on the east side, it's more vineyards, rolling hills, and mountains. Of course, if you love being outdoors, you are in for a treat. Sonoma County offers a ton of outdoor activities, from hiking and biking to water sports. There are a plethora of regional parks. There's Annandale State Park and Spring Lake Park. Great for hitting the trails, bike riding, and if you're really into water activities, Lake Sonoma is just a short drive away where you could do boating, fishing, picnicking by the water, what have you. And like I said, you have the Pacific Ocean, so everything you could imagine doing on the ocean. Before we go any further, I want to quickly ask you to subscribe to my channel. Moving to Sonoma County is a big decision, and it never hurts to be as informed as possible. If you subscribe, you will see weekly videos from me in your feed that go into detail about everything you need to know about moving, living in Sonoma County. And of course, the more that the channel grows, the better the videos get. Thank you so much. Number three is community. And this was something that I didn't really expect when moving here. There is a strong sense of community. I have met people that are very proud to say they are third, fourth, fifth generation Sonoma County. It is very tight community. And we love that. When we moved here, we would go to the grocery store, the hardware store, tell people that we had just moved here, and they would say, "Welcome to Sonoma County," which was a huge difference coming from a big city like San Francisco. Neighbors really know each other here, and now that we've been here for a little while, it's so fun to go to a coffee shop, go down to the Barlow, because I'm in Sebastopol, and run into people that you know from your yoga class or different groups that you're in or from your kids' school. It is such a nice change from the fast-paced city life. Now, it's true, the slower pace may not be for everyone, so that's a consideration. If you really want the hustle and bustle of living in Soma or in the financial district, then Sonoma may be a little bit too slow for you. But overall, the friendliness that's felt throughout the local shops and the restaurants does really provide an awesome sense of community, and it makes for a full list of calendar events. We're talking farmers markets, pop-up shops, events at the Barlow, crush events that are happening in Sonoma. There's always some type of feed happening, Apple Fair happening. There's a lot going on throughout the year. Movies in the park. There's always something on the calendar to do. I have another video that talks about the differences between the east and the west side of the county, and I will link that description in the below. If you're, thinking Sonoma County, but you're maybe not quite sure which side of the county would be best for you. So number 3 is arts and entertainment. If you are artsy, I'm happy to tell you that Sonoma County is home to more than a dozen performing arts companies, countless music venues, and over 100 museums and galleries. Just take the Sebastopol Center for the Arts for an example. It hosts the Art Trails and Art at the Source each year, which are 2 open studio programs that extend all across the county, so you can go and visit the artist studios directly. They also have classes, events, and exhibitions throughout the year. And there's the Luther Burbank Center for the Arts in Santa Rosa. It is a world-renowned venue that hosts art performances and speaker events throughout the year. So just because you've left the big city, it's not like we're lacking for any type of entertainment here. Number 4 is food and wine. Of course, Sonoma is known for wine. There are 19 distinct growing regions in the county, from heat-loving Cabernet Sauvignon to cool climate Riesling, and everyone's favorites, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. It's important to keep in mind that wine plays a big role in the county's culture. And if you don't like wine or you don't drink at all, there may be some parts of the county that just don't appeal to you. For instance, Sonoma Valley receives a lot of tourists each year, and they are definitely there to experience the vineyards and go to the tasting rooms in the plaza. So if that is something that doesn't appeal to you, there may be other parts of the county that are more interesting to you. Of course, there is the wine component, but it is a great place to be if you love food. There are so many products that are produced here, from cheeses to breads and ciders, honeys and teas and more. That was something that was really surprising when we moved here, is how much food products are made here. I'm currently working on another video that is dedicated just to food, but I will just give you a sneak peek here. So as I said, I am in Sebastopol, and Handline is one of my family's favorite places to go. We love their fish tacos, and their burgers and their salads are great. There's also Willowwood and Grayton, and we always go there for breakfast. And guess what? There's no line. I know, coming from San Francisco, it blows your mind because breakfast is a huge pain in the city. There's also Troubadour in Healdsburg, the Michelin star restaurant Single Thread, and my favorite sushi is in Rohnert Park at Hana. And of course, in Boise Hot Springs, there's El Molino Central, which is the best Mexican. So number 5 is schools. If you do have kids, and this is something that is on your mind, the schools here are very highly rated. And it was one of the reasons that we actually moved here. We were paying private school tuition in San Francisco, and it does go up about 5% each year. And when we left, we were paying about $30,000 each for our kids. And now we are at a public Waldorf charter school. There are actually a lot of charter schools in the county and different alternative educational philosophies. A huge Waldorf community, along with other options like forest schools. There's actually a huge homeschool support network. And there's Technology High in Rohnert Park, which is a STEM-based public high school, and it consistently makes the top 5% in nationwide rankings. There's also a Waldorf High School, which is also public, and that is in Cotati, Rohnert Park area. And then for higher education, there's Sonoma State and then Santa Rosa Community College. Number 6 is close to San Francisco. You are just 45 minutes to an hour-ish from San Francisco, depending on where you're seated in the county. And San Francisco is San Francisco. There's so much to do and see and experience, and you're just a short drive from there. Obviously, the Golden Gate Bridge, Fisherman's Wharf, all of the museums, all of the galleries, all of the fun things to do. I don't need to go on about how awesome San Francisco is, but it is something to think about if you are working in San Francisco, if you are in the tech or finance industry, whatever industry you may be in, and you need to drive. It is a pretty short drive, especially if you are able to time it right with the main driver commute. If you're able to kind of go on off hours, it could be great for you. Or if you only have to go in a couple of days a week. Okay, have you fallen in love with Sonoma County? Let's talk about some of the drawbacks. Number 1 is affordability. Yes, I know this was also a pro, but it really depends on your budget. If you're coming from other parts of the country, these prices just might not be in your budget. Number 2 is traffic. There is still a major project happening on the 101. It's called the Novato Narrows, where everything goes down to the 2 lanes, and driving through Petaluma and Novato can get really congested if you need to go up the 101. If you're able to go over onto the 37, it is a little bit easier for you, but that area can get congested sometimes as well. And then if you're on the 12, which is kind of the highway that runs east to west, if there's some kind of construction going on, or if there's an accident, it is a 2-lane, sometimes 3, that can get congested as well. So it's just something to think about. Certainly not as bad as other parts of the Bay Area, but if you don't want any traffic at all, there could be other parts of California that would be better for you. Number 3 is tourism. The annual Sonoma Tourism Report was about 10 million visitors in Sonoma County in 2022, and we have people coming from all over the world. I feel like this affects the east side a little bit more than the west side, but if this is something that you just don't want to deal with, you want to be able to go to your coffee shop, you want to be able to have, no lines, and you don't want to deal with the traffic, this could be a deal breaker for you. Number 4 is fire risk. This is something that everybody in California needs to be aware of, and certainly it is something that has impacted Sonoma County. There have historically been some pretty severe fires that have tended to be more on the east side in recent years. So it feels that the west side is a little bit less risk adverse. Everything needs to be evaluated though from a case-by-case situation, because the west side is a little bit cooler and it has more of that wet wind in the afternoon, especially coming off the coast. It seems like it's a little bit more insulated, but that's just kind of what it's been doing the last decade or so. Certainly we don't know what's going to happen with Mother Nature. So if fire risk is a concern for you, California as a whole may not be right for you. But also Sonoma County may have more risk than you're willing to take on. So there could be other parts of California that feel a little bit safer for you. So who should and who shouldn't live in Sonoma County? If you are looking for a high quality of life for your family in a beautiful setting with less of the city problems, I think that you will really enjoy Sonoma County. The community, the schools, the affordability, just the overall vibe and the slow pace of life, coupled with all of the amenities and entertainment, really make it a wonderful place to call home. On the other hand, you probably shouldn't live here if the home prices I mentioned gave you some major sticker shock and the fire risk is a deal breaker for you. And if you are just not interested in having any tourists that might affect your weekends, then I think there are other parts of the county that may be a little bit more off the grid, so to speak, but certainly other parts of California if you really don't want to be around people. Also the proximity. If you need to be in the city every single day and you have to go during those working hours, Sonoma just may feel too far to you and you may be better suited to live in Marin. Now, I've talked about the east side and the west side, and I will link that below if you feel like, yes, Sonoma County, but you're not quite sure the nuances of each of the sides. That's a great video to check out. I have helped lots of clients make the transition from San Francisco to Sonoma County, so please reach out, emily.beaven@compass.com. All my details are below, and let's get started on finding that perfect Sonoma County home for you today. Of course, if I've missed anything in the videos, please let me know. I would love your comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make it a great day.